Aloha friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Shaman, and these are the Moonday Messages. Thank you so much for your patience. This one came out a little bit later than normal. However, there were some things that I needed to move through, that I needed to help a good friend move through before I could actually sit down and have the time to be completely open and tuned into these messages. So thank you to those of you who have continued to come back to receive these messages, and to those of you who are new that just want to see what this is all about. So every moon day I tap in and get whatever messages want to come through for the week. And so let's just ground our energy. They're telling me there's a lot of galactic energy here with us today. And so I just want to ground so that we can fully connect to our bodies. Yes. Okay, well, starting off, this felt Pleiadian. Can you confirm, Spirit? Yes, Pleiadian energy that wanted to come through. So those of you who are Pleiadian starseeds or who connect with the Pleiadians, there definitely is a message for you in that frequency that I just channeled. And there's going to be more to come, they're saying. So let's just open up, see what else wants to come through. The first thing, and this is super important, y'all, this is not just for this coming week, but also moving forward through the next several months. They're telling me that seeing is not believing. Seeing is not believing. Seeing is not believing. They're really wanting me to get that through. What we see with, we've been indoctrinated to believe seeing is believing, and there have been times even throughout my life where I've said, well, I'll believe it when I see it. And moving forward, that is shifting with this ascension and the way that we're rising. Seeing is not believing. There already is, they're telling me, a lot of deception that is happening through the mental space and through the eyes. So they're saying disconnect from what you are seeing. There are a lot of there's a lot of false energy coming through the visual, coming through the mental. And so they're saying clear that space. Okay, yes. So clearing out the mind chatter, clearing out the mental space, clearing out the visual space. What we see with our eyes is not always true. Now, there are a lot of psyops that are going to be happening moving forward. Spirit is telling me that there are things that are going to happen multidimensionally. So they may happen, they're telling me this has already been happening, and now they're bringing it into the awareness of the collective so that we can move through it quicker. And it's like you see like fires happening, and they're showing me like the Malibu fires from years ago in California, and how they moved through a space and specific pockets didn't get affected by the fire. And that just happened with the recent California fires as well. It's also happened with flooding or with any of these natural disasters that are happening. It's all happening with divine purpose. So know that what is happening for us, for our ascension, for us to rise. And they're saying it's also happening multidimensionally. So I mentioned this before a few weeks back, where I had a friend who said that everyone at her work was saying, oh my gosh, did you see the fire? Did you see the fire? And she tapped into it and she said, it's nothing for me to worry about. And then she got a call from a family member at home and they said, hey, the neighbors came by and they said, did we see the fire and that we should be prepared and we may need to evacuate? And she said, I'm still not seeing that, but I will come home and make sure everything is good. And then when she got home, she didn't see anything. She didn't see any smoke. She didn't see any fire. Maybe just like some police officers on the side of the road. She thought maybe it was just a small brush fire and people were like taking it out of context. And then the next day she got into work and someone told her, yeah, you could see the smoke right by your place. It was really big. How could you not see the smoke in the air? And what Spirit is telling me and what they told me then is that it is happening multi-dimensionally. So in one dimension, something can happen that if you're in a higher dimension, you are not going to experience it. You are not going to feel it. You are not going to have to grow through it. So this is, we're living in this space right now where things are happening multi-dimensionally. Now, here's the other thing, and this is why they're saying seeing is not believing. We have turned into somewhat of a digital society, right? Where everything we do is connected to our phones, our televisions, our computers, our digital spaces. And through those spaces, technology, as we know, can be transformed, can be manipulated. There are so many things that can happen in those spaces that are not truth. And so they're really wanting me to get this out there because some of you may have things going on right now where you're seeing stuff on social media or you're seeing stuff through your computer or whatever it may be, and you're believing that that's what is going on, and that is not the case. That is not true. Now, some of it is going on multi-dimensionally, and some of it is just a psyop. Some of it is happening so that it's happening divinely. So psyops, even though they are, I guess, what we would call unreal or scripted is probably a better term for that. They do happen. Only those, thank you, Spirit, for bringing me back. Only those that know the script know that that's what's happening that way, right? So it's like, if you go to, there were some big protests that were going on recently, and they're saying if you go to those spaces, there were many people who were scripted to be there, to act a certain way, to say certain things, to do certain things, and the outsiders, the bystanders, the people passing by don't know the script. So they're thinking, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. This is a thing. I've seen it with my own two eyes, right? Seeing. And Spirit is saying, pull back and fill into your heart space. Fill into what is truth, because only moving forward through these next few months, and they're telling me even in, can you confirm, are you talking calendar year? Like they're saying into the next few months and even into the new year, which I believe they're saying calendar year, like Gregorian calendar. Yes, thank you. Gregorian calendar year. So I guess through like January, we're going to be seeing a lot of things happening that are not truth. So even if you, like I said, walk out and you're in the middle of this protest and you see these people shouting and hollering and doing all of this crazy stuff, Spirit is telling you, pull back. Don't get sucked into that energy. Don't become a part of it. Don't give it your energy. And I learned this a few years back, that as soon as you start to watch something and you start to feel any kind of fear from it, disconnect, because it is feeding off of your energy. The more we tune into something, the more we create of it. Now, if we tune out, we disconnect and we don't allow ourselves to consent to it, then it cannot affect us. And my husband and I, we are truth truth guardians. My husband specifically is a major truth guardian, and he's done a lot of research, and in everything that he's been researching and growing through, every time, tell me, Spirit, why you brought this in, please, because why is this relevant? They're telling me it because there's always another perspective. Thank you. There's always another perspective. So they're saying zoom out, see the big picture. Don't get caught up in the what's happening right here, what I'm seeing with my own two eyes because I saw it on television, or even because I walked into this set, which I didn't know was a scripted set, right? That tap into your heart. What are you feeling? Is it bringing you fear? Is it making you angry? Is it bringing you rage? Is it causing separation? If it's doing those things, tap out of it. That is not new paradigm. That is not the ancient new earth that we are moving into. If it is joy and love and kindness and unity coming together, then that is ancient new earth. That is what we are creating consciously. So which are you choosing? Are you choosing to connect with what you're seeing? Are you believing what you're seeing? Now, there's something that came through recently. I saw something that said, it was fabulous. This gentleman was talking about believing versus knowing. And he said, he was talking to a man, and he said, do you believe you're a man? And he said, yeah, I believe I'm a man. He said, oh, you believe you're a man? He said, I know I'm a man. I am a man. And he said, okay. He said, well, do you believe in God? And he said, yes, I believe in God. And he says, do you know of God? And he said, well, yeah, I mean, I'm religious. I do this and that, whatever it was. And so he said the difference between believing and knowing is with the heart. Knowing is you feel it throughout your entire being. Nothing can change that. Believing can be altered, can be manipulated. It reminds me of the Matrix. If you've seen the Matrix, the original one, when Neo is walking and there's the woman with the red dress, and it's a distraction, right? And that's part of what we're doing. We're breaking through these matrix systems. So we're going to see a lot of those girls in a red dress. We're going to see a lot of those distractions. And Spirit is telling us this so you can pull back, be in your own energy, and feel into what it makes you feel. Does it bring fear? Does it bring separation? Or does it bring love? Does it bring unity? Where are you tapping into? Where do you fit in that scale? Because it's a large scale, and we tend to move back and forth like the pendulum, back and forth on that scale. And they're saying, where do you want to be? This is where we have the power to decide what we want to tap into, what kind of life we want to live, where we want to be with this. So where do you want to be? Where do you want your energy to be? Do you want to, do you want to continue this swing of this pendulum, or do you want to start to tap into those higher vibrations, those ancient new earth codes that are coming in? And a lot of us have quantum leaped. We had this big quantum shift that happened recently. So you're most likely feeling on the upside of the pendulum, on the side of tapping into ancient new earth. Now, I know from experience, from self, and through connections with friends and clients, that we've been indoctrinated for so long that seeing has become believing. And so it's going to take some unlearning. It's going to take some pulling back, some connecting with self, getting in silence, maybe in some meditation. Now, meditation doesn't always mean that you have to, sit down and quiet your mind and go through a guided meditation or listen to any kind of sound healing. Meditation for some people, cancel clear that. Meditation for everyone is just a lowering of the brain waves. So we mostly operate in alpha or beta as a collective, And there are times that you go into, so beta is the fastest brain waves, and then it starts to slow down into alpha, and then into theta, and then into delta, which is full sleep. Now, theta is the level where we are able to get intuitive downloads, we're able to connect, feel at peace. It is like the state of calm. And alpha is like a basic hypnosis. It's like, have you ever drove home and not quite remembered how you got there, but know that you were like on autopilot and you made it safely and everything is good? That is beta, and we go in and out of beta, alpha, and we go in and out of alpha all day long throughout our days with stuff that becomes routine to us, right? So if we're doing the same thing over and over and over, our bodies know what we're doing, we just go through it. So getting into a state of beta is really easy. You're probably doing it without even knowing it. And then getting into a state of theta happens authentically twice a day. It happens right before you go to sleep at night and right before you're fully awake in the AM. It's that in-between space where you're not quite sleeping and you're not quite awake. So we, as earthlings, go through theta, twice a day at least. Now, there are other ways to get into theta. You can color in a coloring book. What it does is it connects you to your, it disconnects you from all of the thoughts because you're so focused on one thing. Maybe you're coloring in the lines or you're creating something. It could happen when you're, playing music. It's anything that gets the mind to focus on one thing. It could be shoveling snow off the sidewalk or raking the leaves. It could be, anything with gardening and you're focusing on what you're doing. It could be cooking. There's so many different ways that you can meditate that people don't realize is meditation. In my family, the family that I grew up in, the women are very clean, and what I didn't realize until I started meditating myself was that cleaning was a form of meditation for the women in my family. So when something big was going on or they had a lot of emotions to process through, cleaning was the go-to. And because they were focused on what they were doing in the cleaning, that it slowed down the brain waves so that you can get out of that mental chatter, that mind space. So anything you can do to slow down your brain waves definitely helps. Now, be mindful, and this came through last week, be mindful of what you are consuming, what you're tuning into. Because when we're focused on, say, a television program, we're dropping into that alpha state where we're basically in a hypnotic state, and whatever's coming through that space is programming us. So be mindful of what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're tapping into, because there can be subliminal signals that come through that space. There can be lower vibrational energies. I told you I used to be into like true crime and crime drama and thrillers, that kind of stuff, and I've since pulled back from them because I realized how much they were really affecting my energy. Okay, what else, Spirit, do we have for them besides so just to reiterate, seeing is not believing. Tap out of that. Fill it with your heart. As we rise into these higher vibrations, it's not going to be about what we see. It's going to be about what we feel and what we know within what we know. I'll tell you for self, I know absolutely what is going on with my body. For the past 5 years, since I really started to detox my body from the alcohol and shift into a healthier mindset, I instantly know when there's something going on with my body. I can eat something. I'll tell you a story. I ate some crackers that a friend had out at a meditation that we went to one time. And I said, you know, is there any dairy or anything in these? And they're like, no, they're good. They're this and that, whatever. And I took a bite, and instantly I said, there's dairy in these crackers. And they said, no, there's not. Let me grab the box. Grabbed the box and looked at it. And of course, on the box, it said there was dairy. My body knows. I have trained my body for the past 5 years to understand what I'm putting into it, how it affects my body, what I need. And I'm really mindful of that. So my body knows exactly what it's feeling in the inside. And yet, last year, I'll tell you, I went through something where there were so many people that were telling me things that were getting in my mind space, creating all of this mental chatter and clouding my vision, my internal vision, my third eye. And I stopped believing what I was actually feeling in my body. So y'all, I know that this can be hard, a hard thing to process through. If you're processing through this and you need help, please reach out. I will try to make some more videos that will help with this. And I do have a lovely friend who created the Body and Soul YouTube channel that does some body connection stuff. She just did a really awesome meditation on letting go of fear. So I'll be linking those in the description as they come along. And just connect with who you are. Now, the best way Spirit is telling me to connect with your body is to get in nature, because nature doesn't lie. When you're out and you're surrounded by trees or ocean or grass or whatever, flowers, whatever it may be, nature doesn't lie. So as you get out into nature, your body will rest into it, become one with it, and you'll be able to feel exactly what it is that you need to do, or how you need to take the next steps forward, or how to process through things. Some of the best downloads come in nature because you're so connected with the land that your body is in tune with the truth, right? Nature is the truth, is what they're telling me. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, wow. I know that was a big message, and let's see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Some of you have star families that are wanting to connect still, that want to come through to you. Have no fear. Star families are high vibrational beings from other star systems that come through and have divine messages for us, can help us shift through through lower vibrations quicker. So open up. They're telling me expand in the heart. Yes, they're saying open. There is nothing to fear. So let yourself open up to these vibrations. Activations that come through in my channelings will definitely help you open up to those galactic energies. And you can set intention. Also, they're telling me to just remind you too that because we go into theta twice a day, right? Naturally twice a day, right before we go to sleep and right before we fully wake up, we in those spaces we can set intent and receive messages. So if there's something that you're growing through, ask yourself before you go to bed at night, and then let yourself go into deep rest. And by the AM, when you rise up, you may feel like you already know the answer to it. It might take a couple nights if it's something big, or just some time to move through it, but the answers will absolutely come through. It's the best space to work through. I actually learned that from Julia Cannon when I was doing my training for quantum healing hypnosis technique. So it's a powerful tool. I use it when I feel like I'm disconnected or I can't connect another way, I will use that tool. Okay, anything else? The unions. They want me to tap into the unions. So I did do a divine union reading recently. If you're feeling called to that, you can check it out. I will link it in the description. And they're telling me the unions. So there's so much that's happening in union right now. Not just the divine unions, which are one soul in two bodies, but also in soulmate unions. There's an upgrade happening for soulmates as well. There are new soulmates coming online. These connections are going to help raise the collective consciousness. So there are going to be a lot of new couples formed through the end of the year. Open yourself up to receive. I've recently had many clients who have said, well, I'm open. I feel like I'm ready for love and I'm ready for someone to come in. And when we really tap in, there's this little bit of fear that is in their heart from a past life or even a past relationship in this lifetime. And they're saying, let that go. Allow it to clear out of you. Yes, allow it to move through you. Get it out of you so that you can open up to what is ready to come in. These new soulmate unions are ready to come online. Divine unions are ready to come in line. And now there is a special part of the collective, they're telling me, where the unions are in separation. And there is a lot of mind chatter in that space. Whew. Yes, they're saying relax, open up your body, get more movement in your body. That's gonna help move through some of these energies. And trust that everything is happening for you in divine order, right? All right. They want me to shift gears. Okay, so where are we going now, Spirit? What else do we need to know for this week coming in? They're telling me there's some more karmic clearing that's coming in. For a half of the collective, it's going to be some karma coming up to clear so that you can move through it. Might not feel so good, right? It might be a little painful. I don't like that word, I know. They're saying it may cause a little distress. Like you may be thrown off guard by it, but know that it's happening for your highest and best interest so you can move through it and never have to come back to it again. You can completely shift out of it. There is another quantum leap or quantum shift that's going to be happening soon, and your guides are wanting to make sure that you are prepared and ready for that. So allow whatever comes up, whatever you need to shift through, let it shift through you. They're reminding me of this time many years ago where I felt like everything finally was starting to line up, and my car was parked outside of my home. I had a condo, and it was literally right outside of my bedroom window. I could look down on my car. And I woke up the next day from resting, deep rest, and my back window was completely shattered. And I was living paycheck to paycheck at the time. I didn't have any money to fix it or to make something happen. So I had to make do. I had to do whatever I could at the time. And it didn't feel good. It felt like crap. I mean, obviously we don't like growing through something like that, but they're saying it, on the other side, a few I think it actually saved me. Thank you, Spirit, for confirming. It saved me from going somewhere that weekend because I was going to, I don't know, probably go out drinking. And I didn't end up going because I didn't want my car to get broken into because there was no window. So there are little things like that. They're happening divinely, and they may suck when they happen. Like, it sucks to get your window like broken and not have any money, like not be able to afford to fix it and have to work through it until you can save up for that. But know that things are happening divinely. And then for the other half of the collective, which I feel like is the majority of those of you that tune into this channel, good karma is coming back in. Everything that you've done for others, it's coming back to you now. So open up so you can receive. Literally open up. They're showing me like move your body, get it, like open up your heart space, pull your shoulders back, allow yourself to fully receive what is coming through for you. The more you open, the more you'll be able to receive. All right, they said, say that again. The more you open, the more you'll be able to receive. All right, I feel like this is a long message already, so I am going to tap out. Any final downloads that want to come through for this collective? No, they just said, be in your light, be your authentic self. It is time for you to shine. Alrighty, until next time, take care. Thank you for tuning in. Adios.